Well, hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf. I do hope I find you well. Well, this evening in London at the O2 is the launch of the new F1 season. So all of the teams are there, all 20 teams will be launching their F1 cars all at the same time this year. Normally they do them individually, but this year all the liveries are going to be launched in London. And I thought it was a good time to do this kit. This is one that I've wanted to do for an awful long time, which is a Formula 1 car from Tamiya. Now, a couple of weeks ago at the Nuremberg Toy Fair, Tamiya launched the TRF version of the F104 chassis, and it's awfully expensive. I think the retailers, it's around about £330. It's just outside of my price range, unfortunately, although I would really love one. It looks absolutely wonderful. I'll put a couple of pictures in now. So the TRF 104 is kit number 42389. The one we're doing today is the F104 Pro 2. So it does have some upgrades on it over and above the 104. Now, I'm not totally au fait with what the upgrades are, and as with a lot of my videos, a little bit of knowledge going in, and I like to find out as I open the kit. I've not gone through this box yet. I have taken the cellophane off, but it is a brand new kit, so everything that you see here will be its first outing out of the box as we unbox this one. So this is kit number 58652, and just to repeat again, this is the Pro 2 of the F104. Now, I'm told that it's got a new lower deck with a longitudinal battery now. Comes with a TRF damper. It's got a ball differential in it, and various other bits and pieces and upgrades. But as I say, as we open the kit, we'll see what's in there. Now, normally I show you around the box, show you what's on here, but there isn't really a great deal to show you. You can see there's a really nice little handle on the top here. At the end, we do get a picture of the car, which looks rather splendid. What I'll do is I'll just include that as a photograph, because obviously I'm just holding it up to the camera here. And then that's about it, to be perfectly honest. There's nothing else on the box. So without further ado, I'm going to open it up and see what's inside. I'll just turn it around because I do believe it opens this way. And I'm just going to lift it out the way and tuck this underneath my shelf that I have behind where I film. And there you go, that's the inside of the kit. Right, so before we start, just with a little bit of camera trickery, I'm going to turn this back up the other way so you can see this picture the right way up. So this was actually underneath the cellophane. I tucked it inside so it didn't get damaged. This is part of the outside of the packaging. You can see here, F104 Pro 2. 1/10 scale RC performance racing car, and you can see the F1 car here. Looks absolutely splendid. T-bar, a new lower deck, as you can see, and it says here body and wings included. Now, the TRF version, I didn't actually mention TRF stands for Tamiya Racing Factory. That one doesn't come with the body, doesn't come with the wheels. This one, the Pro 2, does. So we've got the body included in here, we've got the wheels included in here. So that's posh that to one side, and let's have a look what we've got inside. Well, let's have a look inside the box, see what we've got in here. So first sprue is the front suspension. You see the different suspension components on there, and this part here, I've read about this one. So this little section here, you can buy this as one of the upgrades. It's actually the one upgrade I haven't actually bought for this kit. We'll come to those in a moment. Basically, this is where the tie-ins for the front wheels are, and the two fixing points, depending on which way round you put this component, it changes your camber on the wheels. So I understand, but that fits on the front of the car. So that's your front wishbones. Moving on, we have the wing assembly, and that looks absolutely superb. I don't know if that's showing up. Let's lift this one out of the box, because I think this is worthy of showing a little bit more in detail. All the little winglets on the front of the wing there that would sit on the front of the car. That's already got me quite excited for building the kit, and you know, I'm already quite excited for the new season as it goes. But yeah, that's looking pretty good. We have a moulding for the driver. Now, unlike the other Tamiya models that I've done, usually you get the open face masks. Obviously, with this being a single-seater, this one actually has the visor in place. So we've got the moulding of the visor across on the driver, as you'd expect. Now, the body. First thing to say is I'm actually surprised at the size of this. Obviously, you know, your front wing would be here, but then you've got a rear wing as well to go on the back of this. So yeah, quite a sizable car, and fantastic moulding. Now, I did read with this, and these are the two bits on the side here, is there's additional side pods that add on the side. Not sure how they go on, but there's a pod here, maybe it will show in the instructions, that you add on to make the body slightly wider. So there's two additional vac forms to add on to there. You can see the driver inside the cockpit inside. Now this body, as I understand it, is based on the 2017 Formula 1 cars, or loosely based on them. I have actually ordered a second body. I'm going to do one as box art. The second body, I'm waiting for it to arrive. Actually can do that one as a Ferrari. Not because I have any sort of passion for the Ferrari, just because I do like the red livery, and I think that will look superb on there. So I'm going to have the two bodies, that one I can run and one I can keep nice. But yeah, this one I'll do as box art. So let's pop that to one side. Full set of tyres here. Got two front ones at the end. Let's just slide those out. And they've got the foam inserts inside, and they look very, very good. Obviously a moulding line down the middle, but that will soon be gone after it's run for a little bit. Got the two front tyres, two rear tyres. Just pop those out to one side. What have we got here? Another moulding for the body. Not quite sure where that one goes, but we'll find out in a moment when we look at the instructions. But yeah, another vac form there that obviously adds on to the body to give some additional detailing. We've got the wheels. Black wheels come with the kit. You can see the spokes. Let's slide these out as well. Why not? They're very nice. You can see the spoked wheels there, and obviously the tyres will sit on there. Now I've ordered a second set of wheels as well, so I've got a silver set of wheels coming, that I will put a second set of tyres on, so I can run two sets on this. Again, one for display, one for running. That's the other side pod, and I'll push that to one side. And then we've got various different bits of moulding. This looks like the rear, well, this is the rear wing. There's the two sides of the rear wing here, and some of the flaps for the rear wing are included in there. Not really a lot to see, but it's just a sprue with the bits on there. And now we move on to some chassis parts. So these are the two sides to the rear axle. It's a direct drive rear axle on this. So we've got the two sides to the, I'll call it the gearbox, with a differential sitting on one side. Yeah, I have bought the upgrade of those. We'll go through the upgrades in a minute. Some of them have arrived, so I can show you those, and I'm quite looking forward to putting those on the kit. Various components in here, not quite sure what all of these are, but I'm sure we'll find out. They look like the servo mount, and possibly a couple of other bits in there for the body. Not totally sure. These look like some kind of winglets, but there's like a sort of spring on the back there. I'm not quite sure. Maybe that's for the original kit, and obviously we've got the TRF one included in this kit. Got the chassis. This is the new chassis plate. You can see it's once again, let's slide this out of the box and have a look. Very nicely machined. I'm not sure the material. It's like a kind of GRP. You can see the texture of the matting inside there, and yeah, definitely a layup of some form. But they're milled for your countersunk screws, so I'm guessing that's the underneath. Sits like that, and then you've got the upper chassis just here. I believe that sits over the top. Very nice indeed. Nicely finished. Very nicely finished. That's one thing I've noticed about these, you know, the newer Tamiya kits. The attention to the detail and the finishing on them is absolutely lovely. I mean, these some of these RC kits, they're getting almost like you know, proper model kit, you know, in terms of their complexity and their detailing. Right, I'm going to lift these into the box, or back into the bag, so I don't lose them. Comes with two main gearing, so these are interchangeable, so I understand you put the different gear ratios on there depending on which motor you're using. we've got servo saver. Again, I've got an upgrade for that. We'll talk about that in a moment. There's a pack here with body clips and a few screws. The screw bag B, and inside there we've got some of the upgrade parts that come with the kit. You can see the duralumin anodized components. I don't know what that blue part is in the middle there, but you've got the turnbuckles that are all nicely anodized, and there's a carbon fibre plate on there for the rear suspension. That's a slide plate that allows the rear suspension to move. So that's screw bag B. Screw bag C. In here we've got the components for the TRF shock. Just looking through, I can't see the actual shock housing it is in there. You can see how beautifully machined they are. The Tamiya Racing Factory shock absorber with a white spring on there, and the other components to finish this. Now, the one thing it doesn't come with is the lower seat for the spring. With the kit, it actually comes with a plastic seat. The actual anodized blue part is an upgrade. Now, I have actually ordered one of those, and frustratingly, you have to buy a complete set of 4. So I shall probably sell the other 3 on, because that might help somebody else out with other kits, and keep the one for myself for this shock. But that should bring that up nice. I mean, that's a bit of a bling part. It's not going to make any performance by upgrading that, but it really does will set the chassis off, so that should look quite nice. Right, so these are the ride heights. So in here, I did read about these. You put your bearings in here, and depending on the orientation of these components will adjust the ride height at the rear of the vehicle. So those would fit inside the chassis block. I can't see where I've put it. Yeah, these chassis blocks, you can see the cutout just here, and you slide the egg-shaped component in there. And that would then, depending on the orientation of those, adjust the ride height at the back of the vehicle. And then we've got screw bag A, and in here we've got the differential components, all of your bearings. This is a fully ball bearing kit, as you'd expect. Got the drive shaft there, and then the flexible chassis plate on the rear for the rear suspension, and the anodizing parts. I'm not going to open this right now because there's too many little components in there, but it looks absolutely stunning. Really looking forward to putting this one together. Again, more parts to the servo saver. So that's the ancillaries bag. I'll just slide that to one side, and then in the bottom here we have a set of decals for the body. Absolutely splendid. Turn them around this way so we can see what's on here. F104 Pro 2, and you've got the little flashes of the blue to go onto the body. Yeah, looking forward to getting those on. Right, this one here, this is the warnings. Be careful, don't cut yourself, always disconnect the battery, in multiple languages. So the usual warnings that come in the kit about, you know, these things can be fast and hot, and, you know, they can be dangerous for fingers. We've got a sheet here. It's about some of the setup for the car. So, as I mentioned, the ride height, but you've also got various different setups. Again, here's those little egg-shaped components that drop in and give you the different lifts on the height, or ground clearance was the word I was looking for earlier. So the height of the rear of the car. So on the front here, we've got the component that I was talking about, that I think I said it adjusted the camber. Might even be the caster on here, I'm not totally sure. It does look like the caster with this diagram here. So basically, when you turn this plate round the other way, it changes the profile of the front wheels. Not totally sure what it does at the moment, but sure, we'll come to that. It might be, if these are further apart than each other as you turn it round, then it might adjust, as I say, the caster of the sorry, the camber of the wheels. But if it's basically moves it car rearward, the component, then you get the caster set up in here. You've got springs on here on the front suspension. They obviously can be changed for harder or softer. Got adjuster on the rear suspension. I'm just saying this as I see it. I mean, I've not really read through the instructions yet. And then toe in and toe out on the front axles there. So yeah, lots of setup, lots of different things that you can add to this sheet. And I'm guessing if you copy this sheet, you can actually do, you know, mark your setup and then see what timing you get on your track. You can see here the name, track, date. So if you copy this sheet, you can mark all your setups on here, and yeah, keep a track of which ones worked for which track. That's a really nice idea, actually. I've only just sort of clocked that that's what this setting sheet's for. So yeah, quite like that. In the bottom here, what have we got? We've got the full instructions and then the body. Let's just go through the body first of all. So there was these number of components on here. I can see it now. So let me just lift the bits back over. So I did wonder what this component was for, and there's a couple of pieces off of it. So at the front here, this is the air intake that would sit onto the chassis here and just sit behind the driver's head. So that's that part of this strange shaped moulding here. And then this part just down the bottom, you've got two pods here which actually sit just in front of the air intakes on the chassis either side. So again, they would sit kind of about there, just that front section cut out, and just sit there on the chassis. And then in terms of the side pods, we've got, you can see, if I just bring this into the shot and making sure that that's still visible, you can see with the side pod the amount that you cut away. You cut down this line here and you just sort of take that one section off of this moulding. Just trying to see if it shows how they all fit together in here. So it tells you about the painting. Yeah, you can see it there, how these side pods then mount onto the body. You actually cut away a lot of what's already there and replace them with the new side pods, which is quite interesting. There's the two additional parts that were on that small back form bit, and then assembly of the front wing, adding it onto the car, and then at the back here, full assembly of the rear wing, and again mounting that onto the car. Very nice indeed. Really looking forward to doing this. I'm really excited about this kit, actually. It's one of those ones, you know, I was quite looking forward to doing the Hornet that's I put on the channel a little while ago, but putting it together, you know, I've built so many Hornets, and I've built you know, the other Sand Viper, all very similar, and I enjoy doing it. I love doing the kits, but this one, I think looking forward to what it's going to look like at the end with all of the livery on the tyres and getting the Ferrari body on it. Yeah, I'm quite excited about this. So, yeah, there you go, I'm rambling on about. So what do? We put the chassis together again. So the back of the car, there's this secondary chassis plate. What did they call it? I forget the name they gave it. The T-bar. So this is the T-bar rear chassis that mounts onto the main chassis, and basically this just flex up and down with the rear wheels and the gearbox on there. Not really much to the suspension at all on these. Gearbox, you can see how it mounts together, these for your bearings to run through, and then again mentioning the egg-shaped components in here to adjust the ride height and ground clearance at the rear of the vehicle. Mounting together the rear axle, you can see it's pretty straightforward, and then the ball differential. So you've got a differential on this rear wheel drive car. It's only two wheel drive, so it's only the rear wheels that are driven, so only one differential on here, and it's obviously just separates the two wheels, so one wheel can turn independent of the other as you're cornering. Dropping the motor in, that's all pretty straightforward standard stuff, and then setting up the front suspension with your adjuster here. That we just mentioned on the you know, the setup sheet. Getting your servo in, what we got here, the servo saver and the steering arms, and with the steering arms here we've got the anodized turnbuckles, which are an upgrade, which is nice to have. Putting the upper chassis components on, and what we got over here, the front uprights and various other bits that go on for the front suspension. Then on this side, the rear suspension. So this is mounting in, this is the slider plate that I mentioned that's made of carbon fibre, and we've got the TRF, the Tamiya Racing Factory damper, mounted onto the top of the car. Your wheels, straightforward assembly. So the front wheels have bearings inside them, just spin on the axle. These are, I should mention, are, you know, these are originally, I saw these type of steering arms on the Grasshopper and Hornet, but these ones are actually reinforced. So they've got glass fibre reinforcement inside them, so a little bit stronger than the standard ones. And then mounting the body, and then pages of setup sheets. Right, so just running down quickly through the setup sheets, we've got toe in and toe out on the turnbuckles. It is camber angle on this bracket, so if you turn it round, it pulls the wheels in at the top. It's not caster. And then on this side, it's ground clearance. So what I believed was the caster angle rotating the steering back. I think that's something to do with the ground clearance, but I'll need to read a little bit more about that. I'm not totally sure. And down the bottom here, we've got the gear ratios. So depending on what ratio that you want, I've just noticed that there's actually two pinion gears in here. We've got a 28 tooth and a 29 included in the kit. They must have been in the screw bag. I didn't see those. You can basically change your two pinion gears, or you can go for one of the others to set up your different ratios. And as I mentioned, we've got two main drive gears as well, so there's plenty of combinations of speed, and obviously you can change the motor as well in the kit. We'll come to that in a moment, because that's another upgrade I've got. Over here, the friction damper, well, it mentions here the RC unit tray posts. Not really sure, I don't think they're an upgrade, but you can put the posts in or take them out. And then over this side, the friction damper, obviously there's a lot to be set up on there. You've got spring tension, you can obviously change the damper oil, all kinds of setup. And then just over the page, what else have we got? Normal instructions that you see find in any Tamiya kit, just telling you how to use the car. And then on the final page, the bit that you find in every kit, which are the the sort of layout of all the parts that are included in the kit and which screw bags are in. So if you're looking, for example, for a BB2, you come to the back here, it says it's in bag B, you know exactly where you're going. The same with the sprues. If you're looking for a particular part, you've got a nice schematic of the sprue, you can go straight to them. And yeah, that really is about it. So very much looking forward to putting this one together. It will be coming up on the channel. I'm just going to pop inside for a moment, show you a few of the upgrades, and then we'll wrap this video up. Well, just to close this video out, I do plan on doing a lot of upgrades to this kit. I won't be going as far as the TRF F104 chassis with all its carbon fibre and bling on there, but I'll try and get some of the way there. So I've got an FL tuned motor to go in. It's not quite the right one. They do a Formula tuned motor, but I went for the FL, which is a 30 turn. So that will be the motor of choice for the kit. The kit obviously doesn't come with a motor, and I should have mentioned that. So in order to complete this kit, you are going to need radio gear, you are going to need a motor, you are going to need a speed controller. Doesn't come with any of those, so you will have to buy a motor. Now you could go for the standard tin can, which is one of these, or you can go for an rated one. I mean, they're about £30 these motors, so they're not exactly cheap, but I mean, you can shop around and I'm sure you can find something. Next we've got here fluorine coated aluminium balls. So basically these are low friction for the steering. We've got some nice shiny body mounts. I mean, these are purely vanity. Then we've got these open faced arms. Not sure where these go, but they're basically clip onto the little ball joints that we've got here. So I'll pick those up because they were listed on the options list. They weren't particularly expensive. I've got a couple of packs of those. Next is the balls for the differential. So these I've gone for the 3mm ceramic balls. For what these are awfully expensive. Now I don't know whether they're going to make any difference. I'm not sure that I will notice the difference, but I saw them as an option, and because I wanted to make this kit quite special, I've gone for them. Not done this before. I mean, normally I would just fit if I got a ball differential, I'd fit the balls that come with the kit. But this one, you can see here, TRF, Tamiya Racing Factory, ceramic balls, awfully expensive for what they are. Then we've got the aluminium motor mounts. So we saw these on the sprue. This is the components where you fit the egg-shaped components in there, and you can see there's a set that comes specifically for these machined, I guess they're duralumin, might be aluminium, I'm not sure. It does say aluminium on there, so I think I said duralumin earlier in the video, but yeah, they are aluminium. So they replace the ones in the kit. Then we've got the carbon rear shaft. This replaces the steel one. There is no weight to this at all. Now, a bit curious to see how this pans out, because obviously with no weight in there, you've got very little inertia, so we'll see how that goes. These components here, we've got the servo horn. Again, these are pure vanity. The servo horn there. We've got the servo cover to go on the front of it, and then this parts here for the uprated high torque servo saver. We've got aluminium spacers to fit in around the car, and then a couple of packs of screws and things just that have been anodised just to add in. So there's a few hop-ups there that hopefully are going to make the kit look a little bit better, maybe make it run a bit better, but it's just something that I wanted to do, that I want to make this one a little bit special. So yeah, quite looking forward to building this. So today was purely unboxing, showing you what's inside the kit, and hopefully coming up on the channel, not too distant future, we'll do a couple of build videos, one putting the chassis together, and then the other one spending a bit of time completing the body to box art. And yeah, please join me for those. So if you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and why not check out the channel. Got lots of videos on there. There's lots of radio control stuff on there, and everything from model railways right the way through to roller coasters, pretty much anything that interests me. If you can subscribe, you'd be doing me a really big favour. It does help the channel out, helps me out, and yeah, I'd be very, very grateful. And with that, I'm going to leave this one there and just say thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.